This is not supposed to be a flower. It has no roots to anchor it, no stem, no leaves to feed it, and yet it somehow grows into the largest flower on the planet. Over 20 pounds of it, heavier than a small dog, and reeking like a rotting corpse. By every rule of biology, a thing like this shouldn't be able to exist. And here's the unsettling part. It's not even the strangest thing on this list. Before these 9 minutes are over, you'll see a tree that bleeds thick, blood-red sap when you cut it. A plant older than the Roman Empire that has only ever grown 2 leaves. And a trap so large that rats have been found drowned inside. These are the plants that should not exist. One quick thing before we start. This channel is a lab built for exactly this. Nature's strangest, most impossible life. The stuff that sounds made up but isn't. If that's your kind of thing, the subscribe button keeps the lab doors open for you. Now, our first specimen. We start with the flower from the intro, the Rafflesia. It's the largest single flower on the planet, up to 3 feet across. But here's what breaks your brain. It has no leaves, no stem, no roots at all. For most of its life, it doesn't visibly exist. There's nothing there to see. So how is it alive? It cheats. The Rafflesia threads itself inside the vines of another plant and drinks that host's water and nutrients straight from the source. Like a thief living off someone else's body. It has even lost the genes to make chlorophyll, so it can't feed itself at all, and it only appears in the brief moment it bursts out to bloom. And it doesn't smell sweet. It reeks of rotting meat, on purpose to fool carrion flies into carrying its pollen away. A flower with no body, surviving by pretending to be dead. But a giant flower is at least easy to spot. This next one is small, quiet, and watching you. These are doll's eyes. Each white berry carries a single dark dot, and they grow in clusters on thick, blood-red stalks. So together they look exactly like tiny human eyeballs staring up from the forest floor. That creepy look is a warning. Inside those berries are cardiac toxins, compounds that sedate your heart muscle directly. Eat enough, and the heartbeat doesn't race. It simply slows and stops. A plant that looks like it's watching you and can quietly switch off the human heart. That one kills in silence. This next one announces itself from a mile away with a smell. This is the Titan Arum, the corpse flower. It grows one of the tallest blooming structures on the planet, rising up to 10 feet like something off an alien world. But the clever part is invisible. As it opens, the plant heats its own core up to nearly human body temperature. And that heat is no accident. It works like a furnace, vaporizing the plant's stench and lifting it into the air, carrying the smell of rotting flesh for miles to pull in pollinators. Then, after all that effort, it collapses within a day or two and may not bloom again for years. Some wait nearly a decade to flower a single time. Smell is one strategy. This next plant survives by looking like something it isn't. This one barely registers as a flower. At first glance, it looks like a creature, the black bat flower. Its petals are an inky jet black, a color almost unheard of in plants, and they spread out like a pair of wings, with long whiskers over a foot long trailing down like dangling legs. In the forest shade, it genuinely looks like a small black bat frozen mid-flight. So why evolve to look like that? Botanists still aren't fully sure. The leading theory is that the dark, almost rotting look tricks flies into treating it like meat, and they end up pollinating it. But this one keeps its secret. A flower wearing the face of an animal. Quick pause. Out of everything so far, which one would you least want growing in your backyard? Tell me in the comments, I'll give you my answer at the end. And it's not the one you'd expect. Everything so far has lived above ground, out in the open where you can see it coming. This next one spends almost its entire life beneath your feet. Meet Hydnora. Look across the landscape and you won't spot it, because most of it lives buried in the soil, fused onto the roots of other plants and siphoning their nutrients like a parasite. Then, when the moment is right, this thing erupts up through the dirt, fleshy, orange, splitting open like a mouth lined with teeth. And that mouth is a trap. It releases the smell of dung to lure beetles inside, holds them prisoner just long enough to coat them in pollen, then opens back up and lets them walk free. It doesn't look like a plant. It looks like something clawing its way up from underground. That one traps insects to move its pollen. This next one drowns animals to feed. This is the giant pitcher plant, a true predator. Each one grows a deep cup filled with liquid, and to an insect, the rim looks like the perfect place to land. It's anything but. The inner walls are coated in slippery wax that no foot can grip, so anything that touches down slides into the fluid and drowns. From there, the plant's enzymes slowly digest it. Most species are content with insects, but the largest can grow cups that hold over 3 liters, and they've been found with frogs, lizards, even drowned rats inside. There it is, the promise from the intro made real, a trap big enough to swallow an animal whole, a plant that eats meat. Now for the 2 I promised at the start. First, the sagar, half-dead-looking heap on the desert floor, might be one of the oldest living things you'll ever see. It's called Welwitschia. It grows in one of the driest deserts on Earth, where it can go years without a single drop of rain, surviving by drinking fog straight out of the air and pulling water from deep underground through one massive taproot. And here's the impossible part. In its entire life, it grows only 2 leaves. Just 2, and that's all it will ever have. They never fall off and never get replaced. They just keep growing for centuries, splitting and fraying in the wind, until the plant looks like roadkill. The oldest are estimated at around 2,000 years, ancient enough that the eldest were already alive when Rome ruled the world. 2 leaves, which leaves one final specimen in the lab, and it's the one that bleeds. On a remote island cut off from the rest of the world, grows a tree that looks like something out of a dream. The dragon's blood tree. Every branch reaches up and out into one dense, flat canopy shaped like a giant umbrella or a mushroom the size of a house. And that shape is pure survival. It shades its own roots from the brutal sun and funnels rare desert mist down its branches to the ground, watering itself. But that's not why it's named after a dragon. Cut its bark and it bleeds. A thick, deep red sap oozes from the wound, so blood-like that for centuries people swore it was real dragon's blood and used it as dye, medicine, and paint. A tree shaped like nothing else alive that bleeds red when you wound it. Maybe the strangest of them all. So what do all of these share? None of them are random. The corpse smell, the fake eyes, the bleeding bark, the 2,000-year patience. Every one is a solution to a problem. These plants didn't turn strange by accident. They turned strange because the world was trying to kill them, and being ordinary wasn't enough to survive. That's the real lesson of the lab. The more impossible a living thing looks, the harder it had to fight to be here. Oh, and my answer? The one I'd least want in my backyard isn't the corpse flower or the one that eats animals. It's the doll's eyes. Because every other plant here at least warns you. That one just sits there and watches. If this turned out to be your kind of weird, the next file is already on the shelf. I'll see you in the lab.